in terms of
don't tell them how much I said now.
Of how many daily users we have during our normal terms in the fall and spring, and that number's over 500 a day.
Wow.
In other words, that go through the doors each and every day, and the librarians, the staff in there, they do a terrific job. Libraries have changed certainly over time, where computers play a more significant role than ever before. They don't have the card catalogs like we did at one time. I remember spending hours in front of those card catalogs and Dewey Decimal and all that, but they do a terrific job.
How many square feet is that?
In the library?
Yeah.
Probably...
I mean, it's small.
200 square feet, maybe.
Oh, I'd say it looks to me like at least about 400 square feet. But one thing I want to compliment
it's smaller than one of our classrooms.
One thing I want to compliment him on is you're talking about being good stewards of what you're given. That right there is a good case in point of being a good manager with what you've got.
Well,
because you've got that space. Well, I was sitting there looking at how you had things rearranged and stuff. You were maximizing every square foot of that room.
Nancy Jones, the librarian, does a terrific job, and we kid her about it, but she is constantly looking for ways to maximize the use of that. Folks in the county and locally here may not be aware, but we want to get the word out that it is available for community use. We have community user cards that they can get and to come in and use the library. So it is open to the public during our regular school hours. If they want to make use of the library, we'd love them to come out.
Well, don't you want folks to treat this as a part of the community?
Absolutely.
I mean, that would be one main reason for being here in Smyrna, I would think, is to get parents who have young children involved. If they can come by and use the facilities, well, then this may be where their kids go to school in 5-6 years.
Absolutely. We've brought in more public speakers than we've had in the past. This past year, we had a couple that survived the Holocaust. We had Brenda Lee here. If you remember her, that's dating myself, but she was, she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Country Rock and the Country Hall of Fame, country music, and then we had the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi speak to our students as well. Our problem there is we've drawn such crowds that we haven't been able to bring in the public, to allow the public to come in, because we don't have that big space that we can open it up to a large public, and that's something that'll come, but we certainly are going to bring that to the community and make that available as time passes.
We're at Motlow State Community College at the Smyrna teaching site. That was the voice of George Ortega, the director, and Brenda Cannon, Community Relations Director, is here with us, along with County Commissioner Mike Sparks. We're going to take a break, our final break of the show here, and come back and talk about enrollment, how is enrollment going, and things of that nature. We're live on Rutherford Issues from Smyrna today, which is... George, how far down the boulevard here are we away from what I guess that's not Nissan Drive, but Sam Ridley?
Sam Ridley itself, we are actually right about one mile, right under a mile, and about
just off of the just right down
off from the YMCA.
Not
you
too.
Turn at the YMCA and go up the street and come to the end, and you'll find us.
George, when are you going to get the road opened up out here? We were just talking about this road. Wouldn't that be such an improvement to this campus, though?
It would. There.
I ain't trying to put you on the spot.
Political constraints involved, because we're right here, right on the city line between Smyrna and Laverne, and you've got folks living over there, and so I know that there are other issues involved. But
what would really help some of those folks over there? If you got students that could walk over here and the YMCA, it would be a win-win.
Well, I think so, and. but like I said, we'll leave that to other folks to decide. Well, like I said, it took a while to get a traffic light out here on Sam Ridley, and we thought that was a super improvement, and something that we needed, and we got it, and it's working well, and so those things take time, and so that'll be worked out.
How are things going with summer enrollment and summer classes and all, George?
Summer enrollment's done very well. We've probably gone up about a third in terms of relative to last year. About 425 students now, and we're probably going to expect more students to come in because we have a second session that's going to run July 1st to the beginning of August, and so we'll have time to enroll some more students, and so that's, like I said, we're seeing our numbers continue to improve. The economy's still a question, and naturally that's a time we hate when anyone is out of work or the possibility exists that they may lose their job, but it's certainly a time where the schools see an uptick in enrollment. We have been the time before, when the economy was doing well, we were doing well, and we've continued through this now recession period, and I think we're going to continue for a while longer doing well. So, we're glad to have them. We'll find a space for them, and in fact, for some of these folks, we've got a program we want to talk about.
Is that the Adult College Express program?
It is, absolutely.
And you've got an acronym for that, don't you there, Brenda?
We do, and we call it our ACE program. I think we started the pilot program at our McMinnville Center.
That's correct.
2 years ago, possibly, and we are pleased to report that we had our first class of graduates at our May graduation. ACE is a very concentrated program, 2-year program, and you must stay on track with it, but it gives working adults who are too busy with life and living, jobs, children, church, civic responsibilities, those folks who always wanted a college degree, but they could never see the end of the road taking one class per semester for the next 29 years. So we condensed that into this particular program. And
so it's only 28 years.
It's only 28 years. It's only 2 years.
All right. Well, look.
And actually, we see what we've done is that they're still only taking one at a time, but it's condensed. Instead of taking one for the entire semester, they take one for 5 weeks, and they do 3 classes within a semester. Okay, and we guarantee them that, as like she said, that as long as they stay with their cohort group, that they'll get done in a 2-year period. They're going to go summer, they're going to go, and so, like I said, this isn't for everybody, because you have to stay on task, you have to be very dedicated to it, and that's why we've got this set up for adults in particular, that are, they're working, they've got other things, but if they can come to us one night, sometimes if they're taking the science, it requires them to come a second night for labs, and
what kind of jobs with this, Brenda, could people maybe better themselves with this education, or what type, if they're looking for a career change? I mean, what type of help would they get by going this course?
By going this way, you said something that I want to stress, because everybody asks immediately, what kind of job are you going to get out of this? What kind of job are you going to get out of this? When I have an undergraduate degree in communications and a master's in education, but I wasn't necessarily guaranteed a job out of that. But so I can't tell you exactly what job they will get out of it, but what the community and the workforce gets out of it is a better educated person.